I win, mark my words. Mark these words now, and I'm willing to bet you all a tenner. Are you in on this, DG?
Go on.
I shoot around in the 70s this year.
No, honestly.
Net, maybe.
You can have my house. You can have my house.
Front 9.
I don't want your kids, just a house. What, Leon?
What is it? A 9-hole course, is it?
Right. Not only did we come back and actually record an episode, we've actually made it to a second as well. Josh is late. Just I'm going to put that out there. He told us he's going to be late, but then he was later than that as well.
I gave you the heads up though.
Yeah.
That's all I could do.
We've got Liam back with us, who had a massive sulk with me and Josh midweek. Said that we're picking him up, and so he said he was actually never coming back on it, and yet here he is. Yeah.
DG, do you, obviously you know Liam quite well.
DG's with us either.
Well, introduce DG then, and then I'll ask DG the question.
You can introduce DG.
Well, we got, what episode are you on, DG? When we first had you on? Number 3?
I have no idea. It was a while ago anyway.
So we got DG on a while ago, who's a scratch golfer, who's gone up to 5 now. Yeah. Now we've got DG on. You're back to scratch now, aren't you? You were off 1 when you came on, weren't you? I think, and then you'd only just started back.
Yeah, I'd not long started playing again. Yeah. So yes, scratch. Yeah, I think.
So back to scratch. But the question I was gonna pose to you it was based off the commentaries. What?
You're gonna pose the question?
Yeah, is that what you say?
Yeah, just posh for you.
Yeah, thanks. I was going to say, like Tris alluded to there, Liam went ape with me and Tris midweek. Yeah, said he was not coming on the podcast again.
Still don't know why.
Do you find that he is like one of the most rattle-able blokes I've ever met? Like, the guy gets rattled over nothing, mate. Like, absolutely nothing. And you can sit there on the camera acting nonchalant, mate, and laid back. But you honestly, mate, yeah.
Acting what? That's 2 words in seconds for you, mate.
Yeah, you are.
Have you got
honestly,
a dictionary
mate.
by there?
Are you late?
Get the word counting now.
Yeah, I've got my word of the day out the way there. Check, lad. But you are really rattleable.
I think it goes in like a certain order with you 4.
Okay. So what would that order be?
I wouldn't put Liam as the most rattleable Griffiths, to be honest.
Who would you put number 1?
Jack's number 1, without a doubt. And he loves a good bottle job as well, to be fair to him.
Yeah, he does, yeah.
I asked Jack midweek, anything you'd change in episode 1 just so we know going further? And he immediately answered and said, yeah, stop talking shit about me.
He's ready to come in. It is true, did you not lie? So then, got Jack first, then who?
I think it's Liam then. I've seen you crumble in the past. I bet it's got to be, I reckon, Josh, you're pretty, and then I reckon Tristan probably needs to fill that one. Yeah,
that's the correct order.
I can get you going quite easily after a couple of pints.
Yeah, that's a fair one, actually. A couple of pints I level up in terms of, when I'm sober, I'm quite unfazed, but Trist, and Liam can attest to this, he's got this weird attitude towards golf where he's like, I don't know, he treats it like some sort of weird partner that he's like, I'm not asked about it. It's like a little bit too spiritual than Liam. One day, you know.
If you'd have joined on time.
Yeah.
If you'd have joined on time, you would have heard this conversation, mate.
What, Tris treats golf weird?
I just said I got no love for it.
Yeah, why? Why have you not got love for golf?
Just, I don't know, it'll come back at one point, just can't be asked playing, or think you know when you got that love for golf, you swing in the golf clubs in the garden and that, or you see something, you're out shopping and you take a swing with it. I'm not doing that. Like, I got nothing.
I don't think I've ever done that when I've been out shopping and just swung something.
Yeah.
Nah, I've never done that.
What you
can't imagine doing the weekly shop and swinging a baguette or something like that. It'd be a bit random.
What are you doing there, love? I know what you mean. Do you, like, when I drive in a car, don't know about any of you guys, when you drive past a field, a mint farmer's field, do you want to hit golf balls in that field?
No, I just think, what sort of golf course could you put there?
Yeah, that's a good one actually. Yeah.
Yeah, see, I'm not that creative, you see.
Yeah. Do you know that one of the best ones, right? Stand on the back of the third tee above instead of looking towards the green, look like, do a 180 and look behind you and go,
Yeah.
Be a good golf course, that.
They're good views, Sam. I tend to try and get on and off the third tee off the whites dead quick though. I absolutely hate that hole.
Right. You're normally there a while, aren't you?
Hate that hole? Yeah.
I ain't hard on there.
You hate it.
I ain't hard on there Saturday again.
Right, I know my head's in the sand, but I don't know who won Club Champs this week or what happened. There's no update, so go for gold. Who actually did win?
Mr. Bull Bay himself, Sean Thomas, and I'm sure he's been on the pod, has he not?
Yeah, so Sean times.
Was he number one guest?
He was, yeah.
First ever
guest, wasn't
he? Yeah.
Sean won it with a 71 and a 78. The conditions were tough, to be fair, and the scores don't reflect the quality of his game. Jack played with him. He went 71 in the morning. The wind was up. The course was very dry. And the next best score was a 78. And that was by Gaz Owen, who is a scratch golfer, or he's a very low golfer anyway. Second round was, I think he won the second round with the best scores as well.
No, Jack Carter did. Jack Carter did.
Oh, of course, yeah, Jack did with a 70. Jack sort of shot a 71 in the afternoon.
How did you get on there?
Jack had then hard in the
first
round. I withdrew after 8 holes of the second round.
Back pain, mate. That is disgusting. DG, would you ever pull out of a tournament with back pain? That's a no then. Yeah. See? Would you, Trist?
Yeah, probably, mate.
Trist would, yeah. I know Trist lives to dead hour.
I'm 33 now. Mate, and I'm getting on.
You look it.
So it was for my own
Josh,
sanity.
As someone who wasn't playing in the Club Champs, what did you do on this weekend?
What did I do? I NR'd. I'm trying to think what hole it was. I think it was.
Fuck me. I honestly didn't know.
You've literally just said the third hole.
No, that was the comp after. That particular weekend, I NR'd on 4. It was 4, that hole. Hit 2 left into that rough in between the 4th and the 6th. Okay. But you know what? I honestly...
Well, hang on a minute. You went hard on the 4th, you hit 2 into the rough. This weekend just gone, there was no rough there, and you NR'd a hole before.
Yeah, there's rough on the 3rd still, isn't there? So I went to that, and then, do you know, just behind the farmer's field, I hit 2 absolute peaches and just landed the exact, I couldn't, like, the dispersion.
Right behind the farmer's field?
Yeah.
As in over the wall? As in 40 yards right and short of the green?
Yeah. But they were mints, they were good strikes, I'm just, do you know what, yeah?
Paint a picture now for the viewers. 30 off the back.
Yeah.
Playing about 210 yards. Predominantly into wind, especially this time of year.
Yeah.
You've got a track which is roughly 100 yards, goes through the 3rd. It dips into a valley. You've got a track, and then the green's fairly elevated, a little bit above your feet compared to where you are on the tee. About 60 yards right is a farmer's field and a farmer's shed. And left, there's a bit of trouble left. But someone of your distance,
I'd say if you
pull it left, generally you're okay.
If you're going at the middle of the green, you've got a good 20 yards left and about 30 yards right before your ball's in big trouble.
Yeah. That's being generous. You've probably got more room than that. To find your ball as well. To find your ball, you've got about 40 yards each side.
Length,
Are you honest? I'm confused now. Are you 3 honestly shocked that I NR'd on the 3rd? Yeah.
No, we're not at all shocked. We just want you to tell us
if it's like anything like today.
Yeah.
If it's anything like
we're
today,
not shocked.
You turned up for like 1 second before your tee time.
I told you, DJ, I do not do well warming up. I don't. I'd rather find out how I'm going to play live Then be like, oh, and
live didn't work out very well for you this weekend, did it?
But it does sometimes. Well, not most of the time. It doesn't.
Sometimes
it works alright. But if I go to the net or the range and I hit it shit, I'm like, I'm not teeing off.
Why?
But if I go and tee up, I'm not playing.
That's bullshit. Hang on a second. So if you go to the net or the range and you're hitting it shit, you don't play the round.
I don't want to, yeah.
But you just said you don't tee off.
Because I'm never early.
But you as a golfer would never ever go to the range or the net and flush it.
Recently I have been.
No, you haven't. You never have. That's like... Right.
DG.
Talk me through... Hold on a minute. We don't know what shot we've...
Right, so I allowed for my high draw and then hit a high block fade. On it.
With what club?
Fucking hell.
So it was 220 wind into face back tees, so I went with a 7.
What?
I went with a 7. No, it was a 9-iron at that, no joke. I think I went with like a 5-iron because I was like, I'm not going to get there with a 4-iron. There's no club in my bag, an iron in my bag that I'm going to get there with. So I was like, I'll play the one.
You've got 2-iron in your bag.
So I can't really hit that at the moment. I think the shaft's too whippy.
So
anyway,
if you've gone 60 yards into the field.
Yeah, what Trist?
The lad known as the Bomber was laying on a par 3.
There's memes about stuff like this, you know.
Do you know, yeah? Do you know, I thought it might, if I struck it well with a draw, it might get there with a couple of bounces. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is I flared them out right and they landed behind this wall and me and my playing partners got 2 of them there and we were like,
stop.
Right. Go on.
Did you flare them? Or did you push them like you said?
No, block fade, I said.
Block
so
fade.
That's why I'd call a flare. The wind caught it, edge went up, and it stalled. And then, I don't know if it made it over the wall.
Your block flare has gone 135 yards.
No, this bit further than that, I'd say.
No.
Okay.
Well, yeah, it was.
Anyway,
couldn't find my ball. And then, par bogey par, mate.
Well,
can't write it, can you?
Horses bolted on it.
Yeah, can't write it, mate. It's unreal. I hit a peachy drive down 4, had about 40 yards in, hit a wedge to about 9 foot, and I missed the putt but yeah, that's the golf I'm capable of. I could table bait. I'm on the precipice. That's the thing. I really am. I feel like, go on. What?
This mentality right here is exactly what I want to come up. I want to bring up right now. Okay, so you've just NR'd for. This is a complete estimate based on how long you've been playing golf and how long I've known you.
My whole life, you're my brother.
Yeah, I would say you've NR'd over 60 times. Over 60 times in competitive rounds, I would say. Yeah?
Yeah.
So, talk us through how you have the audacity to sit here now and go, that's the golf I'm capable. I could table Bay apart.
Because it happened.
Didn't it?
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm not fabricating it. It's not like I'd
had more respect for you if you went, I went 5 off the tee, made an 8, and then I went par.
Yeah, but in retrospect,
at least you carried on.
The walk back to the third tee is an awful one. Like through 2 gates, back up the hill. I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that. I'd rather just NR and play for my handicap. That didn't work either. I shot 104 net adjusted.
Wasn't going to be a long walk though, was it?
It was just one that I wasn't willing to make with the golf I brought to the table that particular day.
Okay.
You know what I mean, DG. Surely you've been there. You're a fan of a kick and a scream every now and then, aren't you?
The golf you brought to the table that day, and you've literally just told us that you hit a driver wedge into the 4th and then proceeded to say, this is what I'm capable of. So which is it? The golf you brought to the table that resulted in an R?
How many of you guys, well, I take it all of us here are fans of Rory, yeah?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah. He is currently playing a lot of birdie bogey golf. And he's almost there. He's almost there. If he can just cut out a couple of bad shots and all that stuff. That's what I am, obviously on a bigger magnitude though. On a greater magnitude.
Yeah, but It doesn't work like he's playing birdie bogey golf. It doesn't work the opposite way around where it's like double bogey eagle golf.
I can't.
Yeah, it does.
That you're referring to someone who's probably the best golfer on the planet and just literally finished second in the US Open as, inverted commas, almost there.
Yeah, he is almost there. That's the definition of almost there for me. Second.
Well, no, Rory McIlroy's
the closest to there. Is he? Would you say? Well, yeah. I mean, in general terms, yeah. But is he there? There is where he wants to be. And is he where he wants to be? No.
Probably, mate. I mean, yeah. What?
No.
There's fine margins to win. So if you could repeat his week, he'd probably say yeah.
Like I said, the point I'm trying to make is my game is almost there, and there's going to come a time this season. Go on, DJ. Mate, if I knew the answer, mate, I'd be giving you it right now.
Because top golfers always top pros and stuff like that always talk about trending.
That's what I'm doing.
So you got he likes Fleetwood and stuff. Had a very good final round in the US Open, 63. I think that's the second time he shot 63 in a final round of a major.
Yeah.
He's going the right direction in the playoff week before. It's only a matter of time until he wins.
Yeah.
So you're telling me you're making an R par, and you're trending in the right direction.
That's exactly what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And the way you described it then is better than how I could have. Yeah, NR to par is definition trending upwards, I think.
Yeah, but that's just over 3 holes.
Yeah.
Yeah. 7th was a triple, I think.
Yeah.
The only thing I would say you're capable of trending into from that, right? If you've gone par, yeah? Literally, the only thing I think you're capable of after that is 4 pars in a row.
You think the most, my peak would be 4 pars in a row, not 3?
I don't think par indicates at all that you're ready to win or score a low round. I would just say the next step for you is, can you do 4 in a row?
No, my next step is to put it all together. I think when I win, mark these words now, and I'm willing to bet you all a tenner. Are you in on this, DG?
Go on.
I shoot around in the 70s this year.
No, honestly.
Net, maybe.
You can have my house. You can have my house.
But 9.
I don't want your kids, just a house. What, Leon?
What is it? A 9-hole course, is it?
That is.
Sorry, friend.
Do you know what, lads? This is what, again, you're just fueling the fire, yeah. I've just pulled
it's
up
not fueling the fire, though, mate.
I've just pulled up into a petrol station, and you're filling me up. All 3 of you with fuel.
I reckon.
I've played with you where you've whinged and moaned about your golf game. And you've literally...
Go on.
You've whinged and moaned about your golf game. On the first hole...
Yeah.
And then proceeded to throw a ball down onto the second tee and pull a 2-iron out.
Yeah.
And just try to hit it off the deck.
Yeah, what's the point playing golf if you're not going to try and hit the shots you want to hit?
You don't do it in competition, do you?
I do in comps. That's why I'm my own. But that thing is, when it's good, yeah. 42 points, mate. It's back to back, beat to beat.
You've got to have the ability.
I do, thanks.
Know when you're on your shit.
When I'm on my shit? Oh, yeah, in a good way.
So in a bad way. No, in a bad way.
All right, I never heard that phrase before, but carry on. Yeah.
But the ability to get it round when you're playing shit, and you haven't mastered that. You could
forget that. You haven't mastered anything. You haven't mastered anything. But I'm going to take what you've just said, your own quote, which is, what's the point playing golf? What was it? If you can't hit the shots you want to hit.
No, if you don't hit the shots you want to hit.
If you don't hit the shots you want to hit. Just ignore age for a second. All right? And think of development stage. So ignore the fact that people have an age and just think of where they're at in the development stage. All right? So you take Liam's son, Caleb,
Yeah.
And Caleb picks up the 2-iron, puts it on the floor without a tee, and starts to hack away at the ground. Are you going to tell Caleb, you're not ready to hit that 2-iron? Please put it back in the bag. Please tee it up and use one of your junior 7-iron sets.
No.
Or are you going to tell him to hit the shot he wants to play?
Yeah.
Well, I'll say, go on, Cal. Well, the thing is, that's not an actual fair representative because
Yeah, it is.
Caleb's 9 and he's like 4 foot.
Wait, didn't I say to you, ignore age and think of it as development stage?
Yeah, but surely, so you're trying to say, so let me say, that the difference between Caleb's junior driver and an adult 2-iron is the same for him as it is for me.
Yeah. You are incapable of hitting a 2-iron off the deck.
Yeah, but
why
also
do it?
because it's fun. When you strike it well, mate, there's no better feeling.
Yeah, but why don't you do that in a non-competition scenario?
I do it in every scenario. I do it in every scenario.
Yeah, he actually does.
Every scenario. So that when it comes to a comp scenario, I'm ready.
Well, you're not here because you'll chunk it and it'll go back.
Not yet. But that's what I'm saying. My game's trending. And when it's on, my strokes gain tee to green,
Oh, here we go.
when I'm on is like
What are you talking? Scottish Sheffield
4.
numbers?
Oh yeah, you can't. But I can putt though as well. That's why I win. When I'm good off the tee, mate, I win. Hence why I'm going to go in with the 70 something.
Before we move on to the quiz, that's bullshit, by the way. Does anyone know why the USGA sent the players out so late? I didn't see any of the US Open. None of it. Only highlights the next morning.
No. It was.
So no one knows the answer.
I stayed up till 3:30 to watch fucking Wyndham Clark win.
Did you?
So you knew why they went out late then?
I knew they went out late. I don't know why.
Did it not say on the coverage?
Well, no, it's in LA. It's like 8 hours difference.
It doesn't have to be, though, does it? It's not like they've not played it before.
Yeah, but even I was thinking
sorry.
that.
Let me ring him for the next episode, mate.
But weren't Wyndham Clark and Ricky Fowler out at Big Dick. Weren't they out at 6:30 at night in LA?
No, 2:30. It was 10:30 here, yeah.
Oh, was it the middle American time? But
Yeah.
2:30 though. Why?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you, mate. I've got nothing to do with the USGA.
Some of the majors aren't they? I'm sure the Masters is pretty late.
Don't think it's that late. Normally it's done by like midnight.
Yeah, but there's only 5 hours difference with the Masters because it's the other side of America, isn't it?
Well done now. But to answer your question, just no one knows, mate. Don't know.
I thought one of you might do so. There you go.
Thought you might, Josh, if you watched it.
I just watched it, mate, and I just thought I'd watch it and Ricky or Rory do it, but Wyndham did it. To be fair, he played unreal. He didn't look like he had never won a major before. He was solid.
He was solid, to be fair.
He's trending it. He has been trending it, mate. There's a lot of similarities between me and him, mate.
Has he got any NRs?
No, but he hit it a long way, mate. 130.
He does throw a ball on the floor and try and hit a 2-iron, but he can hit it.
He actually did. And you know why he did? He played the whole of the US Open by hitting his irons and his woods off the tee, so that he didn't catch a flyer. That was his thought behind it.
That's my thought as well when I did it.
No, it's not.
No, my thought is if I hit it off the tee, I'm not going to get any shock. It's not going to surprise me with the lie I get in the fairway. Do you get me?
No one does. Right, move on to the quiz.
Cheers.
Okay, quiz of the second episode. I'm just going to repeat because I'm going to say this every time. I don't have any set rules. So basically at the end of it, I'm just going to decide who's won based on a mixture of things. Because there should be rules. There should be set rules. And I said this week I'd have a think about what the rules are because sometimes I'll have 3 people on, sometimes just 2. And I thought do you know what? I can't be asked. So you're going to answer some golf questions. And if you win, you win. If you don't, you don't. And there's no sulking about it.
But surely the way you measure who's won is on who answers the most questions.
Yeah, but if it's a tie, it's not.
Oh. Yeah. Spit them out, reigning champ. Let's go. DG, there's a pint on this, by the way.
This is how rattle-able you are.
Yeah.
So if it's a draw and then Liam,
before we carry on,
Liam gets it.
Yeah, did Liam buy you a pint?
No, he actually swigged half of mine.
Okay,
Liam. One I bought myself.
Yeah, and he bought himself tops.
Yeah, as much as I'd love to be on your side, but Liam, you owe Josh a pint. And if you don't pay it, you're making a mockery of the quiz.
Yeah. So there's one in the bank for me there from Liam.
Yeah.
Soon to be another one from DG. I'll come to Conway for that, mate. Don't you worry.
Anytime, mate. Told you.
What's the green fee for a members, mate?
They've got a handicap limit, mate.
Go on, DG. What does it hit me? Not the limit. 30 quid. That's not bad. What's the going rate again? 115?
On a Saturday, I think it's something like that, yeah.
What's the par DG at Conway? 72?
71, I think.
Oh, so I've got even more chance of shooting in the 70s there then and getting an extra shot.
No, you got less chance.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I completely backfired on that. But
I think by the Twitter interaction, I think Lee Jones want to take you for a knock there anyway and see how much of a headwork you are.
His round.
Building up towards. So the par 72 here. Now another one of my guests, Lee Jones, shot a 68 this week. And I tagged you in it, Josh, and I said, there's levels to this game. Right? And I left it at that because I wanted your interpretation. Have I got that, Josh? Word man?
Yeah. Yeah, well done.
How many levels do you think there are between you and Lee?
2.
So you just think you think there's going 4 under par at Conway, then there's a level in between, and then you think there's an NR on the third.
Yeah. Shit, good.
Is this
really
a quiz
good.
question?
Shit, good.
Yeah. So that's just two levels, mate. Simplify golf. It's not a hard game.
No,
but yeah, just before we shout out to Lee, that was actually really disgusting. Right? Considering the scores that had just been come from Conway from the competition that did you play in it as well, DG? The ABBA Conway.
Oh no, I didn't play the ABBA Conway. No.
Yeah, that was insane. 68. Crack on, Tristan.
Right. Who is the current Olympic champion?
Xander Schauffele.
Yes, 1-0 Josh.
DG, you're awfully quiet there, mate. Awfully quiet there. Did you not get that one though? Was that me? 1-0 me.
I don't know why. I found myself rooting for Josh to win.
It's easy, mate. My golf knowledge is
because I beat him in that match, that's why.
That was 1-up, mate, and you were lucky. I outdrive you by about
Liam,
40 on 15.
Off your phone, Liam.
Yeah, you're cheating.
Yeah. Right, question 2. Who was top of the golf world rankings just before lockdown?
Brooks Koepka.
No, so you're out now, Josh.
Verge.
Ram.
No, Liam, you better not be looking at your phone. Just play it safe. Just play it safe.
Spieth.
Oh, God, no.
Right, hey, look.
It was
Wait, go around again. Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Who was it?
Rory McIlroy. Right, Josh stays in the lead. Question 3. In what year was Ricky Fowler's last PGA Tour win?
2014.
2016.
Liam, you're out. Josh,
14.
you're out.
17.
No. I'll let you all have one more guess.
2018.
No. DG.
18.
Josh, you're out. 15, no. Liam?
2019.
Yeah, correct. Bonus point for what the event was.
Hero World Challenge.
Nope.
What year was it? I didn't hear that.
2019.
The Deutsche Bank.
No. random guess.
Was it the match play?
You're out, mate.
Oh. DG?
Can't remember if the Scottish Open was a ranking competition, the PGA then.
No, loudest hole in golf.
Oh.
Waste Management Phoenix Open. 2019, he's not actually been out of the winners. I know it's 4 years by now, but it feels like he's been out of it for about 10 years.
Yeah, but when in those years that he was out of it, yeah.
Yeah, it was really good to see him back.
It was. Part of me was hoping he'd win.
Yeah. He's not finished outside the top 20 this year, is he, PGA?
Yeah, no, something stupid like that, yeah.
That, Josh?
Trending, mate.
Yeah.
He's trending.
Question 4. At which course did Matt Fitzpatrick win the US Open in 2022?
Brookline.
Shinnecock Hills.
Yes, Josh.
Shinnecock Hills, mate. That's what you all are. No one can match me on these quizzes.
Well done, Josh. That's 2 points.
Anyone tell me, just to test your golf knowledge, anyone here tell me why he's one of only 2 players?
He won the US Amateur there as well.
I like doing it for everyone.
That's an easy one.
Easy.
Well, you two should have read before me then, shouldn't you?
We've not even finished the sentence.
Right. This one surprised me. Okay. All I'll say on this one is more than you think. And to have won this many in Tiger's era is genuinely really impressive. I didn't know this. How many PGA Tour wins does Phil Mickelson have?
21.
It's more.
47.
Liam?
36.
It's 45.
Get in. Do I get the point, yeah?
No, you don't.
What?
But
that's shocking, Quizmaster.
That to me, that was a lot. 45 wins. That's half of Tiger's, basically. Or more than half of Tiger's.
When did Nicholson turn pro?
I don't know, but he's 50 odd now, isn't he? 53. When did he go on the challenge? Well, Liv's been around for 2 years-ish. Has it?
Is he about 94, 95?
It was a good 5 years for Tiger, I think. Tiger was out in 96.
No, it wasn't 5 years.
Right, fact checked it. Fact check it. It was.
He was in Happy Gilmore, wasn't he?
Phil Mickelson?
He made a cameo I'm sure he made a cameo in Happy Gilmore.
Did he, yeah?
Sure of it.
92.
What was that there? What did you say? About 5 years? 5 years from 97? Am my maths right on that? Yeah.
Was Tiger 97?
96.
Right, congratulations, Josh.
Is that 5 years?
Congratulations, Josh. You are the second week champion. So that's 2-0. If anybody thinks they can take on our resident quiz champion, let us know. You 1-on-1 against him. I promise you, he's not a phone or a laptop. It's all brain power.
I know a lot about the golf swing and the other people's golf swings as well. So DG, just stick that behind the.
You know fuck all about the golf swing.
Yeah, DG, you owe him a pint.
When you come to Conway, mate, you can have a pint. I'll get you a pint after we play.
So
after a chance in 9 and 8.
No chance. You actually want to take me on your home course because I don't think you can. We'll do in a 4-ball. We'll do me versus you and me versus Lee, and then me versus someone else.
Did you just pick someone else because you realised you put yourself in a 4-ball, but then you've only chosen 3 golf?
Yeah.
Okay, right. Debate time, or discussion time at least. I've read on Golf Monthly, so it has to have some legitimacy. I've read that the Saudi investors are going to financially compensate the PGA Tour players who turn down LIV Golf. I don't know if there's any ins and outs about what it looks like, but I don't know where I stand on that. I don't know if I agree with it or disagree with it. I would say that I'm on the fence. A part of me thinks you think it's bullshit.
this bullshit. They lost. They lost.
They lost.
Yeah,
You can't
they
just
lost.
say you can't just say they lost. That's elaborate.
In what? Yeah.
Yeah. Brooks and Bryson and DJ all took massive sums of money to move to LIV Golf, and they fully understood the consequences. The consequences were that they may never play on the tour again. And they took that risk. They were willing to take that risk.
Did they,
The guys on the PGA Tour that chose not to join didn't want to take that risk. So why should they be compensated?
That is that's a gross oversimplification.
If you think about it from a business perspective.
Yeah, but we're not. Don't need to. It's not our job. Thinking it from a fan and consumer's perspective. The PGA Tour, the guys who left PGA Tour, you say they understood the concept. No, they didn't. Hence why there was litigation suits. Hence why they were suing the PGA Tour. They wanted to have both. They want to have their cake and eat it. So why can't the PGA Tour players who didn't also have their cake and want to have their cake and eat it?
But at the time, I think at the time they probably thought, well, this is massive assumption, but at the time they probably thought, like you said, they wanted the cake and eat it. And it turned out that the PGA Tour, DP World Tour, all turned around and went, you can't have your cake and eat it. You can't take those massive sums of money, choose when you want to play, and turn around. And because it doesn't affect just PGA Tour, it was DP World Tour. There's a few players that left there. There's massive lawsuits on there. I think there's a few players on that tour who are still affiliated to that tour that get massive fines every time they turn up and play at LIV.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Which apparently, reading and hearing some stories that they're going to get the LIV Golf Saudi investment, whatever you want to call it, they're going to pay those fines to those players, and they're free to go back onto the DP World Tour.
It's mental because, to be fair, the one thing I don't. So those who stayed at the PGA Tour, they were obviously promised certain things and they didn't come to fruition. But also, I would say I kind of agree with Liam in the sense that I was just playing devil's advocate before, but you can't have both, and you either want the players who left LIV to get penalised when they come back, and that be it, or they don't get penalised when they come back, and the other players get compensated. I don't think you can have both.
The guys who left to go to LIV, this is none of their doing. The decision that they made was that they would play on another tour that was separate from the PGA Tour. Why should they get fined now because the PIF and the tour have come to some sort of agreement where they can both coexist? If I'm Brooks Koepka now, I'm like, why? Why should I? Why am I getting?
That's the thing.
It's not them, is it?
It's not. Yeah. It's not coexist. They're probably, if this all goes through, they're not going to coexist. There's only going to be the PGA Tour, DP World Tour, and the PIF funding that. LIV is going to go away, isn't it? That's what it looks like.
Yeah. All right. So Brooks, for the likes of Brooks and DJ, the PIF and the tour have come to an agreement, whether you like it or not. LIV was formed or was born out of the PIF trying to get into the golfing world, and as a product, that's what threatened the PGA Tour. Hence why there's been this merger now, because they wanted to do away with all the litigation and they just wanted to unify golf, right? So they made a deal with LIV as a product, or the PIF as a product of what they had brought to the table, and Brooks and DJ and Phil Mickelson and everyone fell under the banner of that product. You can't simply just go, right, we're gonna delete that product, but we're gonna keep those who are in it and we're gonna fine them.
You can.
I think one of the things that I don't understand, and I would need to have a a point on it in more detail is, am I right in saying they remain separate entities?
Who live on the PGA Tour?
Live in the PGA Tour?
Yes, they are. It's like, yeah, exactly.
If that's the case, the only people that need to compensate those players is the PGA Tour. Because the PGA Tour told the players, stay with us, stay in this format, and they'll either go away or it will just diminish into nothing. Right? And that didn't happen. They did the polar opposite of that. They said, if you can't beat them, join them, which I disagree with anyway, like I said last week. So it's not up to Saudi investors to come up to the players and say, yeah, listen, I know you've had a hard time, blah, de, blah, de, blah. You're a multi-millionaire. Let me make you a multi-millionaire. It should be the PGA Tour saying, listen, lads, I'm sorry for the comments that I made about not joining LIV, doing it behind your back. And if you do need some sort of financial, what's the word I'm looking for? Compensation, it needs to come out of the PGA's pocket. If that's the way it is, I don't understand why the Saudi investors would even offer to compensate those players. They didn't take the deal. It's a
pure dollar, mate.
But it's a crazy setup. It's a crazy setup. Everybody's free to make their own choices. Everybody's free to live their life the way they want to, and they chose to go to LIV. Like Liam said, they knew the risks, but they were willing to do it. They were at stages of the career. But if the PGA Tour, they also have a responsibility as a public company. You can't just go out and say what you want to say to keep power. It has to be validated. So if they've gone out repeatedly and said, we're going to do this, we're going to get rid of LIV, stay with us, you're going to get the money, stay with us, you're going to get the money, it needs to be them compensating the players.
Yeah, I kind of agree, but I think the whole point that, well, reading between what's been put out in the media and listening to various other podcasts and stuff, was the PGA Tour couldn't afford to fight the litigation battle.
That's true.
And they had the inflated purses in the bigger events and stuff like that, so they were dipping into their slush fund, as they call it. I think the risk was, well, Saudi or the PIF or LIV were going to throw as much money as they could at the litigation suit, so it'd go away. So the Tour had a choice, either fold or take the deal with the PIF.
Do we know how much we're talking about in figures of compensation? Because one of the reasons I can see the PIF actually wanting to compensate the players, if they are that loaded, you could say, if they do have that much money, it might just be, right, we want to bring the PGA Tour best of the best, with the LIV best of the best, monthly or whatever they want to do, weekly or really often through the year. But if it's going to have aggravation around the new setup, if it's going to have like bad blood in the events, I'm just going to pay them. So if they are that loaded, that's the only way I can see the PAF just wanting to say, fine Rory, fine John, I'll give you money if you just shut up and get on with it now.
The PGA, well, I generally don't think
they're only gonna compensate the players that were offered to join LIV.
Rory was never.
Otherwise, yeah, and rightly so, because he's a fucking little rat.
He's not though, is he? He's living. The thing is though, I think, like Liam said there, the LIV players incurred the risk of leaving LIV, but surely the big overarching risk there is it couldn't work, it might not work out, which it looks like it might not now, because I genuinely don't believe that the PIF cared about LIV. Now that if this merger goes through and everything's greenlit, they can have the financial backing they want, nothing's blocked, it's all signed and sealed, the PIF will not fund LIV. The PGA Tour won't let them fund LIV if they want the merger to work. So part of the risk is that they left is it wouldn't work out when it didn't. So the downside of the opposite side of getting loads of money to incur the risk is that you have to then pay a bit of that money to get back on the PGA Tour, the tour you left for what you thought would be a better tour. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but they shouldn't be fined. There's no way they should be fined.
For me, it's either a fine or compensation. You can't do both.
Well, you can't fine. I'm trying to work out what the best example of this is. But if I was to say I was offered a new job now that was more money, let's take it to the extreme and just exaggerate a bit. And I joined this new company for more money, and then that company went into liquidation. Even thinking my old company merged with this new company, why should I be penalised for now that I'm actually under the banner of what my old company was? Because it's not me who makes those decisions, it's the guys at the top.
Depends on your awareness, doesn't it?
Yeah, and you're shit at your job. Do you know what?
It depends on your awareness, because these top players have all got management teams, stuff like that. You look at Cam Smith when he signed the LIV deal. That was into being around for a little bit, wasn't it?
Yeah,
he just come off winning the Open at St Andrews. What was it? 2 weeks later or a week later?
It was rumoured before he won it.
You're confusing awareness for clever business decisions, and they're being penalised. They're going, hang on a minute, we messed up. Actually, we want to try and reclaim some of that 200 million we paid Phil to join us, because actually Phil's worth 200 million to the PIF alone for what he's done. He's got their foot in the door.
Yeah, but there's an element of what you're saying as well, Liam, that you're being quite harsh on the PGA Tour and the PGA Tour players, and I can see your point. But you're talking about the likes of Phil Mickelson and the likes of Brooks Koepka, who I agree have created the platform, but they never had that platform without the PGA Tour. Like it or loathe it, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you like the management or anything. LIV Golf isn't a platform to grow golf, whether they call it that or not. Wait a second. The PGA Tour is still a tour that is creating icons in the world of golf. Then LIV Golf is just taking icons. So that
has been.
No, hold on. Phil Mickelson and Cam Smith and DJ aren't the guys.
For the listeners, this is just the start of Liam getting rattled. He will progressively get worse and worse and worse as the episodes are.
Yeah, okay.
Continue.
You're digressing from the topic here, because DJ and Brooks and all them, they aren't the guys who wanted to keep playing on the PGA Tour. I've told you, they left and they knew the consequences, of which was that they would never get to play the PGA Tour again. So either Jay Monahan makes that decision and sticks to his word and says, you'll never play on the PGA Tour again, but, have fun with your 200 million or however much you took. Or he says, well, actually, the whole reason we wanted to merge this because we wanted to unify golf, and part of it is, like Josh is to an extent, you can't fine them and compensate the tour players. Yeah. You're either going, right, look, we're not going to fine you, and the benefit that you get is re-entry into the tour. Yeah. But then for the PGA Tour players that turned down big money, they're not going to be compensated what they were offered to leave the tour. But you can't, for me, the biggest issue is the players getting fined, because they have no control. They have no say in what this merger is.
Is that a topic though? I don't think it is it? It's about the players in PGA Tour being compensated financially. Yeah. I've not heard any topics about LIV golfers being fined.
Yeah, there is talk of that.
Yeah.
There is currently LIV golfers are getting fined, aren't they, on the DP World Tour for still being members of the tour, of the DP World Tour, and they get fined every time they play a LIV event.
How much?
I don't know. I think it's different.
A tenner, I think.
Player. So you've got your likes of, I don't know, Ian Poulter or who I'm trying to think of someone else.
That's just a business decision that means basically fuck all. If you look at the history behind Michael Jordan's Air Jordan shoes, when Nike were trying to persuade him to join, they weren't allowed shoes that had over a certain percentage that weren't white. So they had the red branding or the red tick or whatever on these shoes, and they were fined $5,000 every game they made Michael Jordan wear them. But obviously £5,000 compared to what they made. So LIV Golf are basically just saying, fine them all you want. When it's fine. We're probably tipping people that much money.
Yeah, fine them now. That's fine because LIV currently still exists. If they want to play DP Tour events, that's fine. Like, or if they want to continue playing LIV whilst they're members of the tour, then yeah, that makes sense. Fine them.
But I think one of the things that came out in the podcast I was listening to was even the tour players, like DP World Tour player that was on that podcast. He said no one knows what the rules are going to be around any LIV player that say LIV folds and they come back to play on the tour. Will they have to go through Q school? Will they have to? Because at the end of the day, they've taken a slot away from a pro that's probably been loyal to PGA Tour, DP World Tour. How does that work? Because they'll drop in, say like he likes Brooks, drops back into the PGA Tour. Yeah, he's just won a major this year. One of the best players in the world. Wait, what? Is he allowed to just slot back into the PGA Tour, take someone who's been loyal to the tour for God knows how many years, or someone's just come off the Corn Ferry into the PGA Tour? Is that fair? No, I don't think it is, really.
But, no, I don't think it is. It's crazy the logistics that the logistics of the whole situation so far, and that will continue to sort of be complicated going forward. I was saying to Mike, I can't think of, I don't know if I did this in the last podcast, a more dramatic feud in sport. The only one that tops it for me, but I don't even think I can say it tops it, was the Super League in footy, but that lasted, what, a week, 2 weeks? This had lasted 2 years, and it's a proper feud as well.
Yeah, but it's still a topic of conversation. It's still, but that's the whole point, isn't it? So, with the topic of conversation, even, how long is this after the announcement? 2-3 weeks now?
Yeah.
Still no one knows what's going on with the fines, what's going to happen with the players. Is there going to be a LIV Tour next year?
It's insane.
So you look on socials and it's like, there's going to be a tour there in 2024. And then you look in like other places, they've got an Asian Tour event in, I think it's in Lee Westwood's club in Close House in Newcastle away. That's going to have Brooks and it's going to have a couple of other players playing there. And it's like, well, you can't even get players like that to come over and play in the British Masters, not the British Open, the British Masters, which is a DP World Tour event. You can't even get a world, you'd be lucky to get one player inside the world top 25 playing that. And lo and behold, an Asian Tour event that Lee Westwood's hosting has got Lee Westwood, Poulter, Brooks Koepka, Patrick Reed. You know, it's got some of, but still some of the best golfers, arguably, in the world, or still the top 50 golfer in the world going to play. So,
here's a question for all three of you. And I want Liam, let's try and go to all three of you. Let's try and condense the answer. You're the commissioner of the PGA Tour now. It's all been greenlit, one by one. Sure as you can, what do you do?
Right, hang on. What I need more context on that.
Yeah. Do you fine them? Right. Fine the players come back in?
Yeah.
Do you compensate those who didn't leave?
Yeah.
Do you do both, or do you just tell LIV golfers, listen, you pretty much took a risk, it didn't work out, you fucked. You can only play majors?
So
I compensate the players.
Okay, Liam's going first.
Just the question's pretty simple, mate.
Well, no, because there's
I compensate the players.
There's the aspect that if you've got the LIV is still being run by LIV, it becomes messy, doesn't it? So does the whole system now sit under Jay Monahan? and Jay Monahan's in control of...
I just said, you're all Jay Monahan, you're all the commissioner.
Yeah.
You've been green at the deal. I presumed that you all did what he's gonna do and just disbanded LIV.
Okay, alright.
Has he disbanded LIV though?
It looks like he will. If all this deal goes through and he's in complete control he's the CEO of LIV, the DP World Tour, and the PGA Tour, there's no way he signed a deal in hell. There's no way he signed a deal where Greg Norman and LIV, it's still a factor. No way. So you can almost guarantee that when it gets greenlit, if it does, LIV and Greg Norman will be gone.
Yeah, because there is some talk of like the team element of like a tour event is going to be a team element.
Yeah, I think they're going to do it once every now and then or something like that because
they'll keep some of it. But look, the Saudis aren't thick either. They're not exactly gonna say to Jay Monahan, look, here's the product that we backed and funded to get us this far. Here's all of our money that you now get to spend. They're not gonna let the PGA Tour and Jay Monahan shit all over them.
I genuinely think they are.
There's gonna be some sort of compromise, whether that be that Brooks and them get to rejoin the tour, and maybe they do get fined, but like the fine is, Phil took 200 million and his fine is 50 grand. Like anyway, they may, fine them.
Yeah.
Or they compensate, but for me, if they're going to be compensating the tour players, that should be coming out of the PGA. Well, it's not my fucking money, so I don't really care. But it should be coming out of the PGA Tour's purse.
Sounds like you care, mate. Right, Liam. Anyway, we digress. So you would just fine players then? You would compensate players. Sorry.
I'd compensate players. I'd say, look, we've unified golf again. That we have to have the likes of Brooke, Bryson, especially Brooks at top of his game. They need to be competing against the best in the world. This is the only way we're going to do it. You guys, you were unlucky not to, you stayed loyal. Here's a bit of money. Throw that money at them. Make it go away. Because if you're going to, it makes sense to compensate the players that were offered, because technically LIV were never interested in the tour players that they didn't offer. So if you please the ones that you compensate, then you please everyone. Whereas if you were to fine the LIV Tour players, you might get some resistance because they might have the same view as me, saying, well, this is none of my doing, and I've been thrown back into the fold where I potentially could be still playing back on the PGA Tour. So I think that the path of least resistance is to just compensate the players that were offered but stayed loyal to the tour.
Josh.
Yeah.
Didn't you say brief?
Yeah. And I'm not sure if I got that right then, but I think he would compensate the players.
I think so. That's what I took from it. Jesus. All right.
Right.
DG. No, we'll go to DG.
I would compensate the players that have been approached, PGA Tour and DP World Tour.
Yeah.
And then send any player that returns back to either tour to Q School.
Boom. Okay. Okay, well.
Have they, for me to give my answer, have they given the LIV golfers a lump sum, or is it installments or based on a period?
I think it's contract based over a couple, a certain amount of years.
Right, that's what I'm basing it on, that they haven't provided everybody with a massive lump sum, right? Mm-hmm. And if I was Jay Monahan, I would just bring everybody back into the fold, and I would say, what you've earned on LIV so far, fine, but there'll be no more. I'm not going to honour your contract of the 200 million or whatever because LIV Golf is gone. And I'd turn to the PGA Tour players and I'd say, it is what it is. We're all going to make money. I'm not really keen on the idea that we were here in the first place, but we're going to push on as it is. So you didn't join LIV, thank you. And those that did join LIV, I'm not going to keep your contracts to 200 million. What you've had is you had, but now you're back in the PGA Tour.
Yeah, Jay's not the new CEO of PIF, mate, because that's who Brooks and them made the deal with.
But they're not
so
going to...
He's not going to have any say on their contracts. If it ever went to court, he would not be able to influence their contract, because their contract was the PIF.
Okay, mate. I just answered Josh's question, so I'm sorry.
This is hearsay. Again. Yeah. Do you know what I need to do? I need to get I need to put like a soundboard, with like a baby's rattle, and then every time he starts getting annoyed, just play it, and it just goes louder and louder and louder, mate. Do you know what I would do?
Nobody wants to know, mate.
I would find the fuckers that left and compensate the guys who stayed, baby. I hate LIV. I'd second what DG said, but I think we all make valid points, to be fair.
On that point though, DG, if you ever try to rejoin Bull Bay, you're going to have to put three cards in. And I'm finding your ass, mate.
Yeah, mate. That's what you get for leaving Conway.
What's wrong with joining Conway?
Nothing, mate. It's just you, innit? No one else wouldn't do it to Lee Jones. He wanted to come to Bull Bay, like. It's just you.
DG, you're now officially Mrs., aren't you?
Yeah, I am, yeah.
Congratulations, mate.
What does that say there?
I do as I am told. You got your Mrs. Mug there, have you?
Yeah.
How was the wedding?
Good, mate. Really good.
And the honeymoon safari, yeah?
Yeah, good. Really good.
Would you recommend?
Yeah. I would definitely recommend if anyone gets a chance to go. I was amazed, to be honest.
Where did you dress nice?
Was. Liam knows, he was there.
Yeah, where did you go on the safari then?
Kenya. Masai Mara.
Yeah.
That's nice, that. Up your street, that, on it, Tread.
Yeah, I would like to go one day.
Most important question, though. Did you play golf on your honeymoon?
I haven't played golf for the day before my wedding, so that's 25th of May, so I've not touched the club since then.
Shit house. You changed since you got married, mate.
Mate, I've got a new house as well, so. No
excuse, mate. I find time for golf any which way, mate.
Yeah, but look at the difference. Look at the difference. I'll actually go to the range, hit some balls, or turn up about an hour before my tee time, get warmed up, play.
Why would you turn up an hour before your tee? What? Right, hold on, just quickly before we go. So DG's an hour before his tee time. Liam, when are you?
Josh, I'm going to stop you there. I will use it as a discussion next week. Yeah, is it going to be in episode 3?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. I'll let you know. I'll send you the team's invite.
Nice one, DG, for joining us again. What did he say?
Yeah, send the team's invite. Quarter of an hour. I didn't even get one off you. What are you on about? Trist sent me.
Yeah, I let Trist it this week, mate. He's been sat on his arse, so.
I have enjoyed actually taking the back seat to this. It's been better.
Liam.
Son?
Yeah, but.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. Liam, I'm enjoying this slow volcanic build-up that we've got coming up. We have one episode we're going to get him, aren't we, Tris? And he's going to flip his lid, mate.
It's close. I think you have to do something around Open Week and Town Cup. I'm sure. I reckon you've got to build it up to that.
Yeah.
Can't be in Benidorm, unfortunately.
Not for the start, mate. We'll have to get you versus Jack. And then me and Tris on the bags and DG commentating.
Josh, as a sign-off, actually, you can have the sign-off. Liam, cheers for coming on. DG, nice to see you again, buddy. And Josh, as a sign-off, give a message to James True.
Do you know what? I haven't got much to say to that guy at the moment, to be honest. I'm trying to I'm trying to conserve all my negative energy I have for him for the match.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
I don't want to waste it on him in the meantime. See you next week.